summer outside, the sun is shining, it's super hot. But hey, let's talk about some comics. Actually, this episode of Strippin will just be about one comic. I haven't had, I kind of overdid how many comics I could do in one show. So, yeah, I'm just gonna cover this one comic in this particular episode. Today's episode of Strippin will be centered around the webcomic called Uberquest. Uberquest is a comic made by... I'm going to use their what's it called? The nicknames, and it's made by a guy named Skip and a girl called Phsuke. I don't know how you pronounce it. Phsuke? I don't know. It's a furry comic and it's on Catbox. Don't, for the love of God, don't let that discourage you. I know that Catbox is famous or infamous for being the shit tier of all webcomics, and I kind of think that too. But like a diamond in the rough, as they say, I think. Isn't that an English term? I don't know. But a diamond in the rough. Uberquest is arguably the best webcomic on Catbox. It is a webcomic about, it's just your bog standard adventure webcomic and with furries. But there's these things that really makes it stand out. It has this more personal feel to it. You kind of feel that the creators of this webcomic really cared for it. There's tons of video game references, and there's no doubt that this is based on RPGs from video games. So if you look through it, you'll find references to MMORPGs, you'll find references to Resident Evil 4, you'll find references to Pokemon, Zelda, fucking Deus Ex Human Revolution. There's tons of these small little tidbits, and it's really fun when you go because these two are so passionate about their comic. You can look at every page, and you can there will be so much you can go, oh, what's that in the background right there? Oh, what's that right there? And there'll be all these cute little extra tidbits that if you are a gamer and an old school gamer, you will find tons of shit that will make it more entertaining to watch, and it'll almost become like an Easter egg hunt where you will go through the comic and you'll look through all these things and going, oh, is that from that game? Oh, it's really fun. As for the characters, it's really it's a character-driven story. There's no doubt about it. These characters are so colorful. They're so great. They're so unique and different. The protagonist is a little kitty cat called Sesame, and there's also a dog called Kibbles, a mouse called Fern. There's all these different animals, and it's just fun. Also, I gotta say that I really love that they have Kibbles, who is a dog, and she's the British out here kind of girl. But the thing I love about her is that she's a big woman. I don't think that big women are portrayed well enough in comics or just in literature in general. And she's a big, she's not huge. She's not a beast. She just got a little meat on her bones. And I think it's nice to finally see a girl with a little meat on her bones, and not just up here, which obviously leads us to the whole porn thing. Catbox is infamously known for fan service, for boobs, for just ham-fisting porn in where it doesn't belong. So the big question is obviously, does Uberquest fall into the same category? No, it doesn't. Now, I know what you're saying, you invisible person that I somehow always keep getting a weird conversation with in my videos. There are various pictures online circling around with like naked pictures of the individual characters, and some with them in like having sex. The thing about that is, however, that, well, you can have like a problem with that. I won't stop you for that. Like that's your thing. But the way I see it, and where I'm coming from with the whole porn in webcomics, and we've talked about this in my webcomic relief episode. Hold on. It's good. But where I come from with the whole porn and webcomics thing is that it's fine as long as it's in a universe for itself. Let me try to explain that. Like, so far we've all seen Las Lindas. Horrible webcomic in every thinkable way. And we've seen Concession. Horrible webcomic in every thinkable way. The reason why these two are horrible is because that they use the sex while they're trying to give some sort of exposition. Like, they're trying to be taken serious while still, like, it's basically a porno. But the way I see it, the way that you can sort of excuse it is if you have, like, this is a story, it's sober, like there may be a little fan service here and there. Shut up. Like there may be a little fan service here and there, it won't be like the main focus of the comic. That's fine. And then like you will have like maybe a separate gallery or like single commission pictures of sex or breasts or whatever. And the reason why I think that is why that is excusable is because like everyone loves sex and like hot pictures. Like who doesn't? Like Rule 34 exists for a reason. Like people want to see various characters having sex. And so if you can create that in a medium for itself, where it doesn't like it's not about the story. Like one of the pictures in like circling around is Kibbles and Sesame, the two main protagonists having sex. And I don't think at any point throughout the comic that this will actually be a thing that will happen. I more think that this will be like a sisterly bond. I don't know, the comic isn't all that long, but these two are having sex in this picture. Like someone obviously asked for this. Someone obviously went, oh, I'm going like. These people have to eat, I guess. So like they'll take commissions, and then someone has said, I want to have a picture of Kibbles and Sesame doing the dirt, and then like they will do that, and that's a thing in and of itself. It's like someone drawing fan art for their own comic. Basically, it's not in the story, it's not in the plot. And I've seen people going, oh, now this finally came down to the same level as other comics on Catbox, and fuck you. But let me just say that the level of Catbox, if we have the rank meter here, Catbox here. so to say that it's on the Catbox level, like fuck you. But like I've seen people going, oh, it's fun on the Catbox thing. Like there's fucking porn of fucking questionable content and least I could do or Control Alt Delete, like that's porn of fucking everything. So where the fuck are you getting off saying that this is like the same thing? I mean, fuck off. So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there, but like I just felt that it needed to be addressed. There are obvious like you will get some fan service in there. You can't like get out of it, but it's obvious that the two creators of this webcomic aren't exactly going to like it almost feels like they're trying to avoid being in the same category as all the other Catbox webcomics. There are even like I think it's subtle jabs at like what people might think is like they're fighting this tentacle monster, and then it'll be like, that's still this like the biggest cliche in the book, and then like they cut off the tentacles and you don't get any tentacle porn. And I kind of like that because it's like we know what you are thinking. Like we know that you want to hate us for putting over the top sex in the webcomic where it doesn't belong. but we're not going to do that. This is not the kind of comic. Obviously it can change further on, I don't know, but for now, the people who are following me very closely will see that I have backed this one up on Patreon. And that's because I really think that this comic, like every comic, every strip is very entertaining, it's very unique, like it feels like it's going somewhere, it's moving in a great pace, a little fast, but like at the same time, that's because like with every page, you go somewhere and you find something out about the characters. So really, like, what it all boils down to, try and go online, find a Uberquest, give it a good read, and if you're not interested in it, then, well, I can't help you. But really, I think this is one of those comics that are worth checking out. And obviously, you know, because I did the same thing with the Metal Gear one, you can go on their Patreon and you can back them up, and that's where I got the idea that there might be commissions, because if you pledge enough, you will get a commission done. And that's super cool. I pledge enough so I can watch the streams, and it's really fun. So yeah, that's Uberquest. If you have a webcomic that you want me to review, like really quickly, like here in Strippin, let me know. Just throw it in the comment section, throw it in the whole suggestion box or whatever, and I'll take a look at it. Remember, this is a show about your webcomic. It's not about any kind of webcomic that like is too short to review. It's about your webcomic. This is to bring your work out. So yeah, suggest it to me, and make sure to go to my Patreon if you want, and you can there do some pledging stuff that will make me not only give you a webcomic shout out, or well, a piece of art, it might be a book or a CD, or I might give that a shout out at the end of every video, or I'll just give you a shout out in every video. And like for 25 bucks at the like if you play 25 bucks, I will personally sit down with you for a specific amount of time, and I will talk with you about and give you like hints and pointers and like brainstorm ideas and stuff with you for your comics. So yeah, that's basically it. I can't talk right now. That's basically it for this episode of Strippin. Yeah. Sorry that there wasn't like more than this one webcomic, but I just thought like I wanted to keep the show alive and talk about a really great webcomic. So yeah, suggest your comics to me and go to the Patreon, and for God Almighty, don't forget to go and check out Uberquest. See you guys next time. Bye bye.